Greetings. The origin of the Caucasian devil concept that was presented to the masses of Aboriginal Americans by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad still to this very day has brought forth much controversy, however, has given rise to many discussions which covers the studies of political science, human psychology, spirituality, genetics, and world history. The origin of this concept has been explained in vast detail by many scholars in consciousness. This Yaqub history that was spoken of by the messenger has been further verified from Sumerian text to the Ptolemaic or ancient Egyptian Table of Nations to the Vedic epics. However, in this segment we will explore not only the phenomenon of ancient genetic engineering, but also characterizations that birthed significant psychospiritual mythos. Historical checkpoint. The ancestor of the recessive Eurasian interlopers are the post-cataclysmic hominid groups, with emphasis toward the Homo neanderthalensis, or simply the Neanderthal man. With the utilization of indigenous records, we see the fallacy of human evolution and the out-of-Africa model. There was no evolution, but instead the degeneration of the primal, reticulated Aboriginal people. Global indigenous civilizations wrote about hominids in their text and spoke about them in their oral traditions. From the Orang Pendek in Sumatran legend, the Karada or Karatatun of Moorish science, as well as the Sasquatch in American folklore. Indigenous people lived among them. But how is this history correlated to the concept of the grafted devil? In modern European culture, we observe a white fascination with what we would commonly associate with demonic or horror-related themes. In this brief summary, along with the devil archetype, we are highlighting the werewolf, also the vampire. Sounds a bit crazy, I'm sure, but remember there is an origin to all characterizations. The werewolf stems from the Cynocephalus hominid. Cynocephalus meaning dog-faced, a term used to describe certain species of apes and historically a reference to the hominids that roamed Eurasia, who were distinguished for their distinctive snouts, as well as a howling vocalization that they performed when they came in contact with humans. These tales are even told today among the survivors of Sasquatch encounters. These entities were used in ancient biological experimentation, according to ancient records. One major element in the making of the grafted races that is not emphasized as it should is that the principles of these processes were dark-skinned Amazonian women. Here we make a noticeable distinction because not all melanin-dominant people are in fact Aboriginal. Hopefully we can discuss further in another presentation. The graftation history over time became venerated in pre-Abrahamic European traditional systems. In Wicca, for example, there is the feminine deity called Triple Goddess, represented as an indigenous woman, ruled by the moon, which is where the full moon association derives. The masculine deity we see is presented as the horn god, or Pan, figure, which is an obvious predecessor to what became your devil. Pan can be traced back to the wild man of European folklore, once again another reference to the Neanderthal. In consulting Sumerian text and the Mediterranean cult history, the grafting processes featured the operation of artificial insemination and a lower frequency form of mating rituals. This was the first union between ancient woman and the Cynocephalus hominid, specifically the males of the species. According to this mythos, the offspring were hybrids, known as Nesufur-atu, which is a term believed to be of uncertain etymological origin. However, it is clearly Medu-Neter that ventured into Europe by the Gypsies, thus working its way up into the European languages. Nesufur-atu is where Nosferatu is derived, where the vampire lore begins. Nesufur-atu means disease carrier. Note, in the slideshow you will notice a triple goddess symbol resembling a biohazard sign. Very interesting correlation. Another title that is given to the hybrid offspring is moon children. In our analysis, we shed light on modern European psychospiritual obsession with vampirism. If any of our viewers have ever seen the film Queen of the Damned featuring the late R&B singer Aaliyah, the symbolism is apparent. Queen Akasha is a 6,000-year-old Egyptian who is the mother of the vampire race. The name Akasha is of Vedic or Dravidian origin, which is very key because the Indian subcontinent is where we find the earliest history of the matriarchal birth cults, while 6,000 years presents the genesis of the recessive Eurasian races as the messenger taught. Stay tuned for the closing audio clips of this video where we hear two European occultists, Rick Smith and Nicholas Schreck, bear witness to their own origins. Keep in mind that Nicholas Schreck was a leading figure in the Church of Satan that was founded by Anton LaVey. Holito.
They're still carrying on that good fight today. You don't call him Adam anymore. You don't call him Iesu. You call him by another name. Nowadays, you use the term Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, okay? Sasquatch, Bigfoot. That's the Adam, okay? They have carried on the good fight for today. They are living libraries, just like that of the blue whales of the sea, okay? Yeti, Yowie, Berserker. Okay, Berserker is another term throughout every culture. You'll notice no matter what country you're in on the planet, every culture, every country has a Bigfoot, a Yeti, a Sasquatch, a Berserker, or a werewolf. And at times, the werewolf mythology is combined with the Sasquatch mythology with the word Berserker. Okay? Yes? Both the blue whales and the Sasquatch are living libraries. It means they have it within themselves, their own, make up their own cell structure, all this key information of true ancient history, where the human race comes from, our relationship with extraterrestrial entities, the family of man.
In not the human experience, but what has been understood as the human experience. It's a quality that people are frightened of, a quality that people consider evil, and it's something that has been very little understood until now. And in 1984, we consider that the lycanthropic revolution began. And since that date, we have summoned up the dark forces in man. We're summoning up the wolf in man. And we're calling on everything that has been forbidden, everything that has been locked up and restrained. And our work is designed to unleash the beast in man once and for all.
What's the final objective then once you unleash the beast in man?
Well, we don't have a linear objective that we could explain to you in a way that you could simply understand. But certainly, our quest is for world domination. In the simplest terms, our quest is for